Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Global Summits and Conferences ଯେତିକି ବି 2025 ର important topic ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକଟି exam ପାଇଁ ଓକେ ତ ଆଜି ଆମେ ସେଇ ଟପିକରେ ସମସ୍ତ ସମିଟ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କନଫରେନ୍ସେସ୍ ତାର venues ତାର କୋଉ country host କରିଥିଲା ସବୁ ଡିଟେଲ୍ସରେ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା ଏଇ ଗୋଟେ ଭିଡିଓରେ ତମକୁ ପୁରା ଇୟର ର ସମିଟ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କନଫରେନ୍ସେସ୍ କରେଣ୍ଟ ଆଫେୟାର୍ସ ମିଳିଯିବ ତ ୟା ପାଇଁ ତମକୁ ଆଉ କିଛି ବି ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ନାହିଁ ଚାଲନ୍ତୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରିବା ଆଣ୍ଡ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରିବା ଆଗରୁ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ ରିମାଇଣ୍ଡର ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଯଦି ଭିଡିଓ ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି କଣ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟ ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି ତାହେଲେ ନିହାତି ଭିଡିଓକୁ ଲାଇକ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଭୁଲିବେନି ଚ୍ୟାନେଲକୁ ସବସ୍କ୍ରାଇବ କରନ୍ତୁ ବେଲ୍ ଆଇକନକୁ ବି ଦବାଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ତାହେଲେ ମୋ ଭିଡିଓସ୍ ଯେବେ ବି ମୁଁ ପୋଷ୍ଟ କରିବି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ନୋଟିଫିକେଶନ ଆସିଯିବ ଓକେ ତ ଚାଲନ୍ତୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରିବା ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ which city and country hosted COP30 conference of parties 30 okay 2025 UN climate change conference କୋଉ city and କୋଉ country the correct answer is Belém ବ୍ରାଜିଲ ଆମର host କରିଥିଲା କେବେ ହେଇଥିଲା ନଭେମ୍ବର 10 ରୁ 21 2025 ଯାଏ ଏଇ COP30 ହେଲ୍ଡ ହେଇଥିଲା ବ୍ରାଜିଲ ଠାରେ ବେଲେମ୍ ସିଟି ବ୍ରାଜିଲ ଠାରେ and କିଏ ପ୍ରେଜାଇଡ୍ କରିଥିଲେ ଆନ୍ଦ୍ରେ କୋରିଆ ତୋ ଲାଗୋ ଓକେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଯିବା what is the target amount countries committed to raising for climate work by 2035 तो climate work 2035 जाए ଆମର କୋଉ ଟାର୍ଗେଟ ଆମାଉଣ୍ଟ ଟା ବିଗ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ କମିଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଣ୍ଡର ରେ ରଖାଯାଇଛି ଓକେ ତ କରେକ୍ଟ आंसर इज ऑप्शन 3 1.3 ट्रिलियन ତ ମେମ୍ବର कंट्रीज जो माने भी अछंती ସେମାନେ କଣ एग्री करचंती टू द बिग फाइनेंस कमिटमेंट जोटा रेज 1.3 ट्रिलियन डॉलर फॉर क्लाइमेट इनिशिएटिव ओके बेटरमेंट ऑफ क्लाइमेट नेक्स्ट बा क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 which initiative was launched at COP30 to track individual countries climate action and progress regarding greenhouse gas emission तो greenhouse gas emission regarding रे हमरो progress of action climatic action ପାଇଁ कोन initiative निया जाईची तो करेक्ट आंसर कोन हे जिवो global implementation accelerator ओके जोटा कि हमरो the global implementation accelerator and Belém mission to 1.5 degrees Celsius were launched to track each country climate ସବୁ कंट्रीର କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଆକ୍ସନ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରେସ ଚେକ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବା ଟ୍ରାକ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମର ଲଞ୍ଚ କରାଯାଇଛି କଣ ଗ୍ଲୋବାଲ ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟେସନ एक्सीलरेटर ओके what percentage of forest protection fund is designated for indigenous communities तो এই indigenous communities ପାଇଁ କେତେଟା ଆମର forest protection fund raise ହେଇଛି ବା କେତେ percent ଆମର facility ତାଙ୍କୁ ମିଳିବାର ଅଛି 10 20 30 and 50 the correct answer is 20% okay and this is created for forest conservation with 20% fund allocated specifically for the indigenous communities okay next jiba which country is scheduled to host COP 31 30 ebe पढ़ी के आसिले ब्राजिल ठारे हिची and 31 हमरो को country host करिवो 2026 रे जोटा ऑर्गेनाइज हबा पे जाउछ तो करेक्ट आंसर इज टर्की okay turkey is set to host the COP 31 in Antalya 2026 रे Australia will also lead the negotiation during 2026 session okay तो Australia मध्य participate करिवो next which country will host COP 32 COP 31 पढ़िले COP 30 पढ़िले एबे COP 32 climate submission 2027 रे जोटा हबार अछि ताको के होस्ट करिवो मेकिंग इट द फर्स्ट टाइम an East African country host अच्छा ईस्ट अफ्रीका रो को कंट्री हमरो होस्ट करिया को जाउची 2027 रे COP 32 क्लाइमेट समिट तो करेक्ट आंसर हे जिवो इथियोपिया ओके 2027 रे इन एडिस बाबा ठीक अछि तीनटा सारा कप कहिदेली निहाती मने रखिबे क्वेश्चन एटू मिसिबो नेक्स्ट where was the 16th conference of parties again COP okay 16th conference of parties or COP to the UN convention to combat desertification okay जोटा कि हमरो UNCCD COP 16 held कोठी हेतिला करेक्ट आंसर इज रियाद सऊदी अरेबिया एंड थीम कोन थिला यारो आवर लैंड आवर फ्यूचर लिखि दोची मु आवर लैंड आवर फ्यूचर ठीक अछि नेक्स्ट इबा which Indian project was presented during the UNCCD COP 16 to restore 1.15 million hectares of land एबे पढ़ी के असले कोठी ऑर्गेनाइज हेतला एबे हमें देखिबा को इंडियन प्रोजेक्ट जो हमरो प्रेजेंट करा जायतिला तो ग्रीन इंडिया मिशन प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर अरावली ग्रीन वॉल प्रोजेक्ट प्रोजेक्ट डेजर्ट फ्री करेक्ट आंसर कोन हिजबो एबे करंट अफेयर्स रे पूरा अच्छी न्यूज रे अरावली ग्रीन वॉल प्रोजेक्ट ठीक अछि जोटा कि हमरो टू रिस्टोर लैंड इन अरावली रेंज Next, where was the 15th Conference of Parties to Ramsar Convention on Wetland held? Environment it पूरा cover हे जाउची काहे कि summit and conferences हमर जत्ते कि भी environment perspective ରୁ बहुत important तो maximum exams रे ए सब रू question आसे आपन को ପାଇଁ भी बहुत important तो जी भी देखुचंती videos निहाती गोटे गोटे like करबा दरकार ठीक अछि चलंतु हमर कॉप 15 टू रामसर कन्वेंशन ऑन वेटलैंड कोठी हेल्ड हितला जेनेवा स्विट्जरलैंड विक्टोरिया फॉल्स जिम्बाब्वे चेन्नई इंडिया रे ना बैंकॉक थाईलैंड तो करेक्ट आंसर कोन हिजबो विक्टोरिया फॉल्स जिम्बाब्वे ओके जुलाई रे हितला ऑर्गेनाइज जुलाई रे कॉन्फ्रेंस हितला एंड विक्टोरिया फॉल्स रे हितला जोटा कि हमरो जिम्बाब्वे रे अछि नेक्स्ट व्हाट वाज द थीम फॉर वर्ल्ड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट समिट 2025 ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय टेरी इन न्यू दिल्ली तो कौन थिला तारो थीम partnership for accelerating sustainable development and climate solution. Okay. The organized quote hitla organized by TERI. The summit focused on the core partnership for sustainable development. Okay. Another source mention not important. Next. Which city hosted the 11th World Green Economy Summit? Green Economy Summit 2025 रे जोटा हेतला 11th तम को सिटी हमर होस्ट करथिला दुबई ठीक अछि UAE रो दुबई ठारे हेल्ड हेतला नेक्स्ट व्हाट इज द थीम फॉर 11th वर्ल्ड ग्रीन इकोनॉमी समिट एबे पढिले ऑर्गेनाइज कोठी हेतला एबे देखंतु पूरा सीरियली सब किछि अछि सीक्वेंस रे अछि आपण चाहिले इजीली ताको नोट मेकिंग भी करि परिबे नहले आपण को जदी दरकार पीडीएफ देन कमेंट सेक्शन रे कहले पीडीएफ प्रोवाइड करते 11th वर्ल्ड ग्रीन इकोनॉमी समिट रो थीम कोन थिला एबे पढिबा तो थीम है हमर innovating for impact accelerating the future of green economy okay the theme emphasized innovation and the future of green economy next which city hosted 20th session of United Nations Forum on Forest UNFF 20 तो को city host करछि correct answer is New York এটা আমরা 20th session next where was the international conference on glacier conservation 2025 held glacier conservation ro amar international conference koti hitila city with country dash Dushanbe Tajikistan okay the correct answer is option B Dushanbe Tajikistan next which meeting of the parties to Montreal protocol was held in Nairobi Kenya to protect the ozone layer and address the climate change तो को Montreal protocol हेतला MOP 35 36 37 38 करेक्ट आंसर कोन हिजिबो 37 Montreal protocol 37 हमर हेतला बैंकॉक ठारे जोटा कि 2024 रे हेतले next number 16 where was the 20th G20 summit held in November 2025 recently current affairs रे थिला हमरो ओके तो कोठी हेछि करेक्ट आंसर कोन हिजिबो जोशनबर्ग साउथ अफ्रीका इरा हमरो 20th एडिशन नेक्स्ट what is the theme अच्छा हेछि कोठी हमें जानिले जोशनबर्ग साउथ अफ्रीका बट एबे तार थीम कोन थिला हमें केमति जानि solidarity equality and sustainability G20 रो हमरो जत्ते कि भी मेंबर कंट्रीज कमेंट सेक्शन रे निहाती लेखिकी मते जणिबे नेक्स्ट which country will host G20 summit in 2026 2025 रे हमें जानिले जोशनबर्ग साउथ अफ्रीका थीम जानिले एबे 20 G20 रो हमरो 2026 रे जो समिट हबार अछि सेटा कोटी घटिबो बा कोटी ऑर्गेनाइज हबो को कंट्री होस्ट करिबो कि यूएसए करेक्ट आंसर इज यूएसए तो यूएसए हम 2026 रो G20 समिट होस्ट करिया को जाउछि ओके नेक्स्ट which country hosted 51st G7 summit G20 summit G7 summit is very important तो हमरो जून रे जोटा घटी हेई जाईछि G7 summit 51st G7 summit को कंट्री होस्ट करछि कनाडा ओके एंड कोठी हेई छै एटा हमरो अल्बर्टा कनाडा रे नेक्स्ट who chaired the 51st G7 summit in 2025 51st G7 summit 2025 रे किए होस्ट करचंती बाकी चेयर करचंती मार्क क्रानी the prime minister of Canada okay next what major outcome was adopted at the 51st G7 summit to address wildfire threat जेति कि wildfire threat अछि ताको कमबैट करिया पई बा ताको एड्रेस करिया पई हमरो को आउटकम या भितरु एडॉप्ट करा जायतिला करेक्ट आंसर कोन हिजिबो द कैनानाकी Cananaskis wildfire chapter. Okay. and this was named after the location. Next ଯିବା, which country hosted the 17th BRIC summit in 2025? এটা ବି ଗୋଟେ important question. Okay, ତ correct answer କଣ ହେଇଯିବ? Brazil, in the Rio de Janeiro. ଏଠାରେ ଆମର ହେଇଥିଲା ବ୍ରାଜିଲର ରିଓ ଦେ ଜେନେରୋ ଠାରେ 17th ବ୍ରିକ୍ସ ସମିଟ୍. ନେକ୍ସଟ ଯିବା, what is the theme କଣ ଥିଲା ସେଇ 17th ବ୍ରିକ୍ସ ସମିଟ୍ ର theme କଣ ଥିଲା? Strengthening global south cooperation and promoting a more inclusive and sustainable global governance. Okay, which country will host 18th BRICS summit? ନେକ୍ସଟ ଆମର ବ୍ରିକ୍ସ ସମିଟ୍ ଯୋଉଟା 2026 ରେ ହେବାର ଯାଉଅଛି ସେଟା କିଏ ହୋଷ୍ଟ କରିବ? ଏଟା ସାରିସ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ. ଠିକ ଅଛି. Total how many member countries are currently in BRICS as of 2025? तो 2025 जाए हमरो recent जति की भी addition subtraction जहाँ भी ହେଇଛି ताको नहीं कि हमरो total एबे जाए केतेटा BRICS रे member अछंती. Correct answer is 10 टा. Okay, कौन कौन? Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa, Iran, UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia and Indonesia recently joined. Okay, where was the 25th Shanghai Corporation Summit held? SCO summit କୋଉଠି ହେଇଥିଲା? Tianjin, China ଠାରେ. Which country became the 17th partner country of SCO during 2025 summit? तो recently को country join करछि 17th partner country आकारे Iran. Next, who chaired the 25th SCO summit? किए chair करथिले हमरो? Xi Jinping, the president of को country? Xi Jinping president. बहुत easy question. At least एटा आपण comment section रे लेखिकि जणेबे. Which country will host the SCO summit in 2027? तो 2027 रो SCO summit को किए host କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଅଛି? Pakistan. Where were the 46th and 47th ASEAN summit held in 2025? The 46th and 47th रो ASEAN summit जोटा कोठी held ହେଇଛି? Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. ठीक अछि. And Malaysia रो capital ହେଲା Kuala Lumpur. Which country became the 11th member of ASEAN in 2025? 2025 रे किए join कला? Timor Leste. Next, which year has been declared as the Asian Indian Year of Maritime Cooperation? कोटा 2026. ठीक अछि. Which country hosted the 6th BIMSTEC summit in 2025? our 2025 रे 6th BIMSTEC summit किए host करछि? Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. What is the theme? ଆମର theme कोन थिला 6th BIMSTEC summit रो? Prosperous, resilient and open. Option A is the correct answer. Where was the APEC, जोटा हमर Asia Pacific Economic Corporation Summit held in 2025? तो कोठी थिला Guangzhou, South Korea. Okay, pronunciation टिके difficult अछि but माने रखिबे. Guangzhou, South Korea. Next, where was the AI Action Summit 2025 held? कोठी छि AI Action Summit? Paris, France रे. तो option B हेजिबो correct answer, Paris, France रे. Who co-chaired the AI Action Summit 2025 along with President Emmanuel Macron? तो Emmanuel Macron सहित हमर फ्रांस रो जे प्रेसिडेंट तांको सहित आउ के co-chair करचंती? नरेंद्र मोदी, हमर PM India. Which country will host the next AI summit? Next AI Action Summit जोटा 2026 रे हबार अछि ताकू के होस्ट करिवो? इंडिया निजे होस्ट करिवो. Okay, next, where was the 9th India Mobile Congress IMC held in 2025? Correct answer is New Delhi. Connect. Question number 40. What was the theme of 9th India Mobile Congress 2025? On thila theme? Innovate to transform. Option B is the correct answer. Which country hosted the Semicon India 2025 Congress? Gandhinagar, Bengaluru, New Delhi and Noida. Correct answer is जोटा भी हमरो इंडिया रे होची maximum chances थाई न्यू दिल्ली रे घटिबार बा हबार. Okay, next. What was the theme of Semicon India 2025? The correct answer is building the next semiconductor powerhouse. Option B is the correct answer. Where is the 9th Global Technology Summit 2025 held? कोठी हेची 9th Global Technology Summit? New Delhi again and hosted by amaro Ministry of External Affairs. What was the theme for 9th Global Technology Summit? तारो theme कौन थिला? संभावना जोटा कि possibilities. Next, which city hosted the 12th World Government Summit 2025? Ko city? Dubai. Okay, Dubai जोटा कि UAE and तारो theme कौन? Shaping Future Governments. Next, Where was the 55th World Economic Forum annual meeting held? 55th World Economic Forum କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? Davos ରେ. Davos କୋଉଠି? Switzerland. What was the theme for 55th? ଆଚ୍ଛା ଏବେ ଆମେ host country ବା ଆମେ venue ଦେଖିଲେ ଏବେ ଆମେ theme ଦେଖିବା କ'ଣ ଅଛି ତାର theme? Collaboration for intelligent age. Option B is the correct answer. Which city hosted the 12th Global Space Exploration Conference? Washington DC, Moscow, New Delhi and Bengaluru. तो कोटा हिजबो correct answer हमरो New Delhi maximum. Where was the 2025 Web Summit held? कोठी हितला? Correct answer is Lisbon. जोटा कि Portugal रे. Okay? Next. Which city hosted the Waves 2025? Waves जोटा कि हमरो World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit. सेटा कोठी हेची? को city host करची? Correct answer is Mumbai. Next. Where was the 2025 NATO summit held? এই जो NATO ହେଲା G7 ହେଲା G20 ହେଲା SCO summit ହେଲା ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ବହୁତ important. जोड़ा निहाती देखिकी जिबे. And এই question answer कौन ही जिबो? The Hague, Netherlands ठारे organize ହେଇଥିଲା. Right? 2025 रो NATO summit. Okay, next. Which country is the newest or 32nd member of NATO? किए recently join करची? Sweden. तो option B ହେଇଯିବ हमरो correct answer Sweden. ता आगରୁ ଥିଲା ଆମର Sweden joined in 2024 as our 32nd member following Finland. Which will India host? Where will India host the 5th Coast Guard Global Summit 2027? तो 2027 रे 5th Coast Guard Summit कोठी held हबो हमरो चेन्नई ठारे. Okay, next. Which city hosted 16th Armed Force Conference in 2025? को city host करिवो? बा host करछि हमरो कोलकाता. Okay, and our theme कौन अछि वर्षर year of reforms transformation for the future. Next. Who led the Indian delegation at 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference in 2025? So 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference किए? Om Birla. Om Birla किए? Amaro Speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay. Next. Where was the 10th edition of Resina Dialogue 2025 held? कोठी हेची? New Delhi. Resina Dialogue सबरे New Delhi रही. Maximum time. Who was the chief guest at the 10th Resina Dialogue? Correct answer कौन? Christopher Luxon. जेके हमरो Prime Minister of New Zealand. Okay. Guest of honor थिले. Next. What was the theme? हमरो theme कौन थिला 10th Resina Dialogue रो? Kal Chakra, People, Peace and Planet. Option B is the correct answer. Kal Chakra, People, Peace and Planet हेजिबो हमरो correct answer. Where was the second edition of Naval Commanders Conference 2025 held? कोठी हितला second edition टा New Delhi ठारे. Okay. Option C. Which city hosted the ADMM Plus 2025? कोठी हेची ADMM Plus जोटा कि हमरो Asian Defense Minister meeting Kuala-Lumpur ठारे. Kuala-Lumpur एइटी के आगुरु मु कहितली कहारो capital Malaysia टा. Okay. How many countries signed UN Convention against Cybercrime in Hanoi, Vietnam in 2025? केते जण country sign करछन total 72 countries. ठीक अछि? And legally binding upon every country. जहाँ भी terms and conditions. Where was the 7th NSA level meeting of Colombo Security Conclave held in 2025? कोठी हेची New Delhi ठारे. And हमरो किए को chair करछंती National Security Advisor किए Ajit Doval. Very huge personality. Great personality. Okay. Which country was granted full membership in the Colombo Security Conclave during 2025 meeting? किए? को country? Seychelles. ठीक अछि? Seychelles हमरो अगरो observer country थिले एबे full membership मिली गला ताको. Okay. Where was the 150th IPU जोटा कि Inter Parliamentary Summit Union Summit held? कोठी हेची ताशकेंट थारे. जोटा कि हमरो उज्बेकिस्तान रे अछि. एप्रिल रे हेतला. Okay. Which country hosted the Asian Security Summit 2025? So Asian Security Summit कोठी हमरो held हेची सिंगापुर ठारे. Correct answer is option C Singapore. And attended by CDS एबेकार किए अछंती General Anil Chauhan. Where was the 18th प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस conference held? हमरो प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस केबे सेलिब्रेट करंती? निहाती कमेंट सेक्शन रे लेखिकी जणेबे काहे कि या प्रीवियस क्लास मु इंपोर्टेंट डेज एंड थीम्स ऊपर नै कि आस्तिली एंड से गोटे वीडियो रे आपण पूरा ईयर रो जो हमरो इंपोर्टेंट डेज एंड थीम्स रो करंट अफेयर्स पाई जिवे तो निहाती से वीडियो को जे देखि नांती मु वीडियो तळे ତାକୁ ଟ୍ୟାଗ୍ କରିଦେବି, ଯାଇକି ଦେଖିକି ଆସନ୍ତୁ। ତ ଏଠି ଆମେ 18th ଭାରତ ପ୍ରବାସୀ ଭାରତୀୟ ଦିବସ କନଫରେନ୍ସ କୋଉଠି ହେଲ୍ଡ ହେଇଥିଲା? ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର, ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଠାରେ। ଓକେ। ନେକ୍ସଟ, ହୁ ୱାଜ ଦ ଚିଫ୍ ଗେଷ୍ଟ? ଆମର ଚିଫ୍ ଗେଷ୍ଟ କିଏ ଥିଲେ? କ୍ରିଷ୍ଟିନ୍ कंगालू, ଆମର ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ତ୍ରିନିଦାଦ and Tobago. Who will host the global cat big cat summit in 2026? କିଏ ହୋଷ୍ଟ କରିବ କୋଉ ସିଟି? ନ୍ୟୁ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ। मैक्सिमम ଆମେ ପଢିଲେନି ନ୍ୟୁ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ ଗୋଟେ ଥିଲା ମୁମ୍ବାଇ। And this announcement for 2026 summit was made by Minister Upendra Yadav. How many big cat species are focused on by the International Big Cat Alliance? କେତେଟା big cat species ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆମର? total 7. Okay, कौन कौन? टाइगर अच्छे, लायन, लेपर्ड, स्नो लेपर्ड, चीता, जागुआर and puma. Next, where was the first ever BIMSTEC Youth Summit 2025 held? कोठी थी first ever BIMSTEC Youth Summit? Gandhinagar, Gujarat. What was the theme for 4th edition of World Food India 2025? Theme कौन? Processing for prosperity. Which city hosted the 13th International Tourism Mart 2025? तो को city host करची? Correct answer is Gangtok, Sikkim capital. Okay, November 2025. Where was the 8th International Solar Alliance ISA assembly held? कोठी? New Delhi ठारे. Okay, amaro Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Which city hosted the first National Conference of Urban Local Body ULB chairperson? Correct answer is Gurugram, Haryana. Where was the Youth Spiritual Summit 2025 held? कोठी ହେଇଛି? Ujjain, Haridwar, Varanasi, Rishikesh. Correct answer is Varanasi. Okay, and theme है drug free youth developed India, for developed India. Okay, next, which city hosted the Global Spiritual Tourism Conclave 2025? किए? Ujjain host করছে. Okay, next ଯିବା, where was the 28th National Conference on E-Governance 2025 held? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? Visakhapatnam. And ଆମର theme कौन थिला? Civil Service and Digital Transformation. Next ଯିବା, where was the Stree Summit 2025 held to empower women? तो कोठी ହେଇଛି? Hyderabad ଠାରେ. Hyderabad, Telangana. Next, which city hosted the South Indian Natural Farming Summit 2025? Co city? Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. And PM Modi ତାକୁ inaugurate କରିଛନ୍ତି. Where was the Aero India 2025 air show hosted? କୋଉଠି host ହେଇଛି aero show? ଆମର ବେଙ୍ଗଲୁରୁ ଠାରେ. Okay, Yelahanka Air Force Station, Bengaluru. Where was the second WHO Traditional Medicine Global Summit held in 2025? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? New Delhi ଠାରେ. Second edition. এটা ଆମର second edition and first କୋଉଠି ହେଇଥିଲା? 2023 ରେ ଗାନ୍ଧୀନଗର ଠାରେ. Next, which Indian festival was added to UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List in 2025? କୋଉ festival ଆମର add ହେଇଛି? ଦିୱାଲି. ଠିକ ଅଛି? Next, where was the 20th session of UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage Committee held? କୋଉଠି ଏଇଟା ହେଇଥିଲା? ଆମର 20th session. Correct answer is New Delhi. Next, which city hosted the first regional dialogue on social justice 2025? First regional dialogue on social justice. କୋଉ city host କରିଥିଲା? ଆମର New Delhi. Maximum New Delhi ବେଲୁନି. And organized by Co-Ministry of Labor and Employment. Focused on responsible business. Next ଯିବା, question 85. Where was the World Health Summit 2025 held? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? Geneva, Berlin, Paris, New York. Correct answer is Berlin. Berlin କୋଉଠି? Germany ରେ. And ତାର focus point କଣ ଅଛି? Global Health Responsibility. Focusing on global health responsibility. Which city hosted the 11th BRICS Labor and Employment Ministers meeting? तो ଏଟା କଣ ହେଇଯିବ answer? Brasilia, ଯୋଉଟା କି ବ୍ରାଜିଲ ରେ ଅଛି. Next, where was the 69th session of UN Commission on Status of Women held? 69th session of UN Commission. ठीक ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର status of ଆମର women. କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? ନ୍ୟୁୟର୍କ ଠାରେ. Okay, and this session focused, ଆମର focus point କରିଥିଲା gender equality and women's right. Okay, next, which city hosted the 15th India Japan Annual Summit in 2025? Co city? Tokyo. And PM Modi and Japanese PM Shigeru Ishiba participated. in the Tokyo summit. Where was the 28th Universal Postal Congress held in 2025? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? ନ୍ୟୁୟର୍କ, ଜେନେଭା, ଦୁବାଇ, ବର୍ନ. କରେକ୍ଟ ଆନ୍ସର ହେଇଯିବ ଆମର ଦୁବାଇ ଠାରେ. Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia represented India in the at the Congress in Dubai. Which city hosted the World Food India 2025 event? କୋଉ city ଆମର host କରିଛି? ମୁମ୍ବାଇ, ନ୍ୟୁ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ, କୋଲକାତା, ଚେନ୍ନାଇ. ତ କରେକ୍ଟ ଆନ୍ସର କଣ ହେଇଯିବ? ନ୍ୟୁ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ ଆମର ଭାରତ ମଣ୍ଡପମରେ ବି ଏଇଟା ହେଇଥିଲା. 91. Which city hosted all India TDS? TDS କଣ? Tax Reduction at Source Conference. ଆମର କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? ଭୋପାଳ ଠାରେ. ଭୋପାଳ କୋଉଠି? ମଧ୍ୟପ୍ରଦେଶ. Next. Where was the World Hydrogen Summit 2025 held? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି ଏଇଟା? World Hydrogen Summit Rotterdam, Netherlands. ମେରେ ହେଇଥିଲା ଏଇଟା. Which city hosted 17th India Game Developer Conference? ତ ଏଇଟା ଆମର ଚେନ୍ନାଇ. Okay, 17th India Game Developer Conference. Next, where was the 30th session of International Seabed Authority held? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି 30th session? Correct answer is Kingston. Kingston ହେଲା Jamaica. Okay, August ରେ ହେଇଥିଲା. And next ଯିବା 95. Which city hosted the World Tea Conference 2025? Correct answer is Kochi. Kerala ଠାରେ ସେପ୍ଟେମ୍ବର ଠାରେ ହେଇଥିଲା ଏଇଟା. And 96. Where was the 23rd AIBD ଯୋଉଟା Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development General Conference held? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? କେତ୍. Okay, ତ ଫୁକେତ୍ ଠାରେ ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର ଥାଇଲାଣ୍ଡରେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ ହେଇଛି. Which city hosted the World Air Transport Summit? କୋଉଠି ହେଇଛି? ନ୍ୟୁ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ. ଭାରତ ମଣ୍ଡପମ୍. Again, this is 81st edition. ମନେ ରଖିବ 81st edition ନ୍ୟୁ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ ଠାରେ World Air Transport Summit and Bharat Mandapam. Next. Where was the 56th International Film Festival of India IFFI held? କୋଉଠି? ଗୋଆ. Okay. And ସେଠାରେ ଆମର ରଜନୀକାନ୍ତ କୁ honor କରାଯାଇଥିଲା. Next. Which city hosted the 3rd Northeast Aviation Summit 2025? କୋଉ city? ଇଟାନଗର ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର ଅରୁଣାଚଳ ପ୍ରଦେଶ ର capital. Next. Where was the 8th Indian Ocean Conference held 2025? ତ କୋଉ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ରେ? ପର୍ଥ, ମସ୍କାଟ, କଲମ୍ବୋ and ମେଲ୍. କୋଉଠି? ମସ୍କାଟ ରେ. ଠିକ ଅଛି, ମସ୍କାଟ ରେ. ଓମାନ ଯୋଉଟା ଓମାନ ରେ ଅଛି ମସ୍କାଟ. and ସେଥିରେ ଫେବୃଆରୀରେ ଆମର 8th Indian Ocean Conference held ହେଇଥିଲା. And this was the last question for the day. ତା ସହିତ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ମୋ ଭିଡିଓକୁ ସେୟାର କରୁଥିବାରୁ, ଭିଡିଓକୁ ଲାଇକ୍ କରୁଥିବାରୁ, ଯୋଉମାନେ ବି ଭ୍ୟୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନିହାତି କମେଣ୍ଟ କରନ୍ତୁ. କମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଭୁଲନ୍ତୁ ନାହିଁ, ତାହେଲେ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିପାରିବି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ କ'ଣ ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ହଉଛି ବା କୋଉ ସବଜେକ୍ଟରେ ଯଦି କିଛି ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି ନିହାତି କମେଣ୍ଟ କରନ୍ତୁ. and happy new year everyone. Stay blessed. Thank you.